Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another coffee talk. For those of you who are not familiar with Coffee Talks, it's a series I have on this channel where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee, I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week. And this week is no exception. Today I'm super happy because I'm sipping out of my Monokini mug, which was made by my friend Esia, who has a brand that is called Monokini. You've probably heard of it because I have mentioned it in I believe it was my June favorites, where I showed you the necklaces I was obsessed with for the whole month of June. And she brought me some mugs. So now I'm sipping out of this mug. And it's going to probably become my coffee talk mug. I've just realized I started a lot of my coffee talks by talking about something that has nothing to do with the topic of the day. Today was the mug. Last week was the fiddly fig, which, by the way, is very much dead, but it's trying to come back to life. There's like little mini leaves that are coming out of the dead branches. So if anyone has anything to say about that, let me know. Today, we are talking about motivation and discipline. So, buckle in, because this one's going to be buckle in, buckle up. Get ready. That's what I'm trying to say. In all transparency, I didn't quite know what I wanted to talk about today because I feel like my mind has been all over the place lately. I've been focusing on so many things, one of which is my new series, which is the Quarter Life Diaries. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link up here and down below. And essentially, I turned 25 recently, and I saw this new year, as an opportunity for me to become like, I don't like saying that, but the best version of myself, and allowing me to live my best life, and to like renew myself almost and have these new habits and just really be living the way that I truly want to live. And that comes with a handful of challenges, and one of which is staying motivated and staying focused and staying disciplined. And that is something I've struggled with forever. For as long as I can remember, I've always had difficulty keeping myself motivated and keeping myself disciplined if it was not for like an external approval. A few years ago, I think it was in one of my communication classes, we talked about, or maybe it was in the gym class, I can't quite remember. Or maybe I saw this in a gym class and then the concept got reinforced in communication. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is we talked about different types of pressure and how some people, I only have the term in French, but it's pression intrinsèque and pression extrinsèque. So one is like internal pressure and then the other one is external pressure. Again, the word pressure might not be the right one, but it's how you get motivated. And there are people like me who get motivated by whatever external factor motivates them. So for me, and I know this for a fact, I will be more motivated by performing in front of others and how people perceive me and how people see me and what I look like to others or what I sound like to others, more than my internal thoughts. And for some people, it's the opposite. The motivation and the discipline comes within you, and it comes from a strength that you have within you and is not affected by other external factors such as the way that people perceive you. And for a while, I kind of didn't want to give in to that. I was like, I shouldn't be caring about what other people think, or I shouldn't be caring about others watching me to actually be able to perform, but that is how my brain works, and I can try and change it, but the first step was for me to recognize this and to really embrace the fact that, yes, I do work better under pressure when the pressure comes from an external source. Because quite frankly, even though I try to motivate myself and talk to myself, it does work, but never as much as if someone is cheering me up or is motivating me, or if someone's watching me do this, or if someone's, I don't know. Yeah. And honestly, it is one of the reasons why I wanted to document this whole journey, because by having these out in the world for people to see holds me more accountable than if I had just decided to do so without notifying anyone and without sharing any of it. And it might sound very like almost narcissistic. It might sound self-absorbed, but it is what it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm trying on the daily to keep myself motivated and to keep myself disciplined from within me, from like an internal force or an internal strength. But the fact is, it will just never be as strong as any other external pressure, external motivation. And that might sound kind of sad, but that's just how my brain works. And I do envy the people who have this kind of motivation within them and who are able to keep themselves disciplined without having the need for other people to like encourage them and to keep them accountable. But truthfully, I've never worked that way, and I will most likely never work entirely that way. And it's a work in progress. As I said, I'm trying very hard to build that strength in me and to like grow this type of self-satisfaction and feeling proud of myself and feeling like it all comes from within me. And it is definitely better than it has been in the past. I'm trying to be more, I don't know, I guess content and proud of myself than before. When I take a look back at when I was a kid and anything considerably successful I have done as a kid, again, like, let's use the words quote unquote successful, but frankly, you never do anything very successful as a kid. But my point is, I needed my parents or my family or my friends or anyone else to tell me that they were proud of me, because I could not really be able to be proud of myself unless somebody else was proud of me. So if somebody would reassure me by saying that they were proud of me, then I would be able to be proud of myself. And that was always the way that I got motivated to do stuff. So it was almost as though having somebody validating the feelings that I felt was the way for me to actually acknowledge those feelings, if that makes sense. Yeah. And today, because I'm an adult and because I know how to regulate myself and I'm more aware of my emotions, I am able to feel proud and I am able to feel content and satisfied. And I'm able to take a look back and really admire whatever I have and to have the motivation, to have the discipline. But if somebody validates those feelings, it's validating, for a lack of a better word. And again, it's not that I'm not able to recognize those things myself. I do recognize my strengths and my weaknesses, and I recognize what I'm able to do, what I've accomplished, but I just need that little extra validation or that little extra approval just to truly know I am on the right track. And again, it might sound very sad, but knowing that that's how I work, I use it to my advantage. So I will seek that approval and I will seek that validation in order to get going. So instead of being stuck and trying to find that validation within me, I will go and ask a friend or ask my sister or ask my parents about their advice or their opinion or their take on whatever situation, just to make sure that I'm on the right track, because I know that's how I work and I know that I need validation. I guess this week's coffee talk is more about validation and approval than it is about motivation and discipline, but in my head it kind of works all together because my source of motivation comes from the approval of people. Ooh, that sounded bad. Oof. Okay, let me try and rephrase that. There will never be something as motivating to me than, again, I haven't even finished saying it and I know it sounds bad. Okay, let's try that again. I've always had a lack of motivation and of discipline when I was by myself. And I need others' support in order to feel fully motivated and disciplined. Did that sound better? I guess that what I'm trying to say is that there are days where you're going to feel very motivated for whatever reason. And there are days where you're not going to feel that motivated or that you're going to lack a little bit of discipline. And that's okay because it's a journey. It's a learning process. It's a work in progress. And you can't always be on the top of your game. Like, that's not how life works. Yeah. But what's important, and I think this is where I was trying to get at, is that even though you are having some harder days sometimes in terms of motivation or in terms of discipline, you got to keep your head on the prize and you got to keep your head on the reason why you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and the reason why you want to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve. And it's for, I think, everything I say, it's easier said than done. But you got to trust yourself and you got to give yourself some time and you got to give yourself some grace, frankly, because there's no one harder on yourself than yourself. So keep that in mind. And I guess that this also relates to the reason why I seek other people's approval in order to get motivated, because I'm being so hard on myself that I can't quite get that motivation or that reassurance, I guess, from myself, because I'm being so hard on myself. So I need other people to tell me that I'm good enough to do this, because I don't believe in myself as much as other people. Wow, that was the realization of the day. Thank you. There's no one here, it's just me and my thoughts. So when I said that that was a work in progress, that's precisely what I meant. I'm trying to grow, I guess, and I'm trying to develop myself and my self-worth and my self-awareness as I'm validating myself, and I'm trying to seek less and less of people's approval. That, I'm not saying it will disappear and that I'm never going to need anyone's approval or anyone's validation, because I've needed it for so long that it's probably always going to stay there. But what I'm working on is the fact that I can actually be proud of myself and that I don't need anyone else to be proud of me to feel proud of myself. Yeah, that was repetitive, but I guess you get the point. As usual, I'm getting lost in the sauce here, lost in the thoughts. So I guess that if I could finish this on a clearer note, it would be to remind you that it's okay to not always feel motivated, and that everything, literally everything, is a work in progress, and that you are worth it. And yeah, that was not clear at all. It was so vague. But hey, that's what you're gonna have to deal with for today. You're welcome. So on that unclear note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for being here. No. Yes, but no. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. Hopefully I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. And I'm going to wish you bonne journée.